Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and today we are looking at my predictions for AEW All In this Sunday. Now at the time of this video, I'm recording this on a Monday, as by the time you see this video on Wednesday, August 21st, I will already be in London as I will be attending All In this Sunday. I told myself last year I made a wrestling resolution that I would attend an international wrestling event, and I chose All In. So next year my goal is to go to a WWE international show. So the London crowd, I know, are good. They won't disappoint me as an American wrestling fan, so I am looking forward to the atmosphere that the UK crowd does bring to these shows. So let's look at my predictions for this show, as I am excited. A lot of good matches on this card as I look here. We're going to start with the All In 0 Hour. Willow Nightingale and Tomorrow Ishii versus Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. I'm going to go Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway for this here, because to me, I'm like, who needs to win more? And I think it's probably going to be Chris Statlander in terms of who needs to win more. The Casino Gauntlet match. This is a guaranteed world title shot. So whoever wins between Swerve and Danielson will likely face whoever wins this match at some point, even though they have said that the rules are similar to Money in the Bank, where they could cash in at any time. So to me, I think I'm gonna go Hangman Adam Page. I think either way, whether you have Swerve win or you have Danielson win, both of them have history with Hangman Adam Page. So I'm gonna go Hangman Adam Page to win. The London ladder match for the the London ladder match is what this is being called, for the AEW World Trios Championship. As I'm looking here on my computer, you got the Bang Bang Gang, Juice Robinson and the Guns, versus the House of Black, which is Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, versus the AEW Trios Champion, Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Killswitch. And of course, there is a mystery team. We don't know who that mystery team is, but I am going to go with the Patriarchy to retain these titles. Look, it's a ladder match. It's Christian's specialty. I think they're going to win here. Sticking with the tag teams, we have the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, who apparently are on part-time contracts and haven't defended their titles since they won them back at AEW Dynasty, going against FTR and the Acclaimed in a triple threat match. I think you take the titles off of the Young Bucks here. They're on a part-time contract. They have limited dates, which is why we have not seen them on TV as often. So I think you got to get them back on a full-time team, whether that's FTR or the Acclaimed. Now, I'm going to lean towards the Acclaimed to win, because I think you give the Acclaimed a big win on a big stage like this. FTR doesn't really need the titles, so I like the Acclaim to win and become the new AEW Tag Team Champions. Next up, you have the FTW Championship, as we have Chris Jericho against Hook. Now, I said in my last video about the Hurt Business potentially coming to AEW with Bobby Lashley and MVP, and who could be in that group, and I said Hook would be a perfect fit for that group if the Hurt Business does show up, or the Hurt Syndicate show up at All In. And I think Hook, he needs to get away from the FTW Championship. Him winning the title doesn't really do anything. And I think Hook, personally for me, I think he should be going after the TNT Championship. Coffin match for the TNT Championship that I just mentioned. Jack Perry against Darby Allin. Now, yes, a coffin match. It favors Darby Allin, but they just gave Jack Perry a new title, and I don't think they're going to take the title off of him. And given the history between, and again, this is just me fantasy booking, but you have the history between Jack Perry and Hook. You know, you had Jungle Hook at one point as a tag team. I would like to see Hook lose to Jericho and then go into the to the TNT title picture and, against Jack Perry, and go off of that history between the two. So I'm going to go Jack Perry over Darby Allin, even though it favors Darby Allin because of the match. But at least Darby Allin will probably do some crazy high spots that we'll all remember. Next up, the AEW American Championship, MJF versus Will Ospreay. Now, to me, they did this whole thing backwards. You know, I liked what TNA did with Nick Nemeth and Josh Alexander, where they did the draw on TV and they're doing the hour-long match on the pay-per-view. I think that's what they should have done here. They did the hour-long match on TV. So I wonder, like, okay, what can they do at All In that we didn't see in that hour-long match on TV? So to me, I'm picking MJF to retain, because I think Will Ospreay is set up for bigger things in the future. And also, if Tony Khan can get the money, I know he'll spend the money on licensed music. I don't know if WWE owns the rights to at least Hulk Hogan's WCW theme song, because I know they have the rights to Real American. But man, if they could use American Made, which was Hogan's WCW theme, and just give MJF like the full Kenny Powers entrance at All In, that would be amazing. Next up, the TBS Championship, as we have Mercedes Moné against Britt Baker. And yeah, Britt Baker's been in the news a lot. She was apparently suspended. She's going to face Mercedes still. She wasn't removed from the match. But yeah, I think she's there to put over Mercedes. Mercedes is going to win. And we'll see what happens with Britt Baker. So apparently, MJF has debunked the rumored reports of what happened. So yeah, we'll see what happens to Britt Baker after this match here. Potentially, could we get Jamie Hayter to return to get a big pop? To confront Mercedes after she wins? Maybe. The AEW Women's Championship is on the line as two former friends. Timeless Toni Storm against Mariah May. And I think this is Mariah May's moment. I think this is her match. I believe this is going to be one of the show stealers of the night. I think these two are going to put on a great show. And to me, I think this is going to open up for Mariah to go on a run with the AEW World Championship, Women's World Championship. And as timeless Toni Storm with the gimmick, she's over. You know, she doesn't really need the title anymore. So I'm gonna be curious to see where they go with her. If we get like a more, different version of Toni Storm after this. What version of Toni Storm will we see after she loses to uh, Mariah May? And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the main event of the show, what AEW is calling this, and this is what it says on Bleacher Report on the website here that I'm using to look at the match card. The final countdown, title versus career for the AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson. I'm torn on this because I can see them going either way. Because if this is Bryan Danielson's last match, then to me, Swerve is going to win. But there's part of me that thinks that Danielson could win the world title and go on a mini run until Wrestle Dream. And right now, it's kind of crazy because he doesn't have a contract right now, and I'm sure he's working on, a verbal agreement with Tony Khan, and he's going to go have neck surgery and all this other stuff. So I could see Danielson trying to fight through until Wrestle Dream, but I think the story is there with Hangman and Swerve. You gotta have the man. Man. See, this is why it's so tough because I can see Swerve retaining and then going into a feud with Hangman, who will win the Casino Gauntlet. So, but then Hangman also has history with Bryan Danielson. Man, this is tough. This is tough. I'll be honest. I think I'm gonna give the win to Bryan Danielson just because of how they did with Sting back at Revolution, where Sting was able to go out on top as tag team champion. And I think Tony Khan is going to give Danielson that final run with the world title. And I think, to me, the AEW World Championship needs Bryan Danielson, his name attached to that legacy of that title. Danielson doesn't need the title, but the title needs Danielson. So I'm going to go Bryan Danielson wins the title, and either he's going to drop the title to Hangman, Swerve, or potentially Will Ospreay. Those are the three who I think could probably beat Danielson for the title at Wrestle Dream, which is what I think he'll probably try to fight through to make it to Wrestle Dream. But comment below, what do you guys think of my predictions? Who do you see winning it all in? Will Swerve win? Will it be Bryan Danielson? Comment below. And as always, you've been watching Ringside Cinema.
Ringside Cinema, living out the dream. Lights down, time to go. Cheers for heroes we know. Ringside forever bold. Wrestling never gets old.